All right. Okay, so welcome to Facebook land. Welcome to you guys. Welcome to Tuesday Mornings with Jeff. So first thing we want to do is we want to make sure that how many of you guys have something that looks like this? Yes?
Yes.
Right, very good. All right, so if you would please turn them off. All right, so we don't have any distractions. Okay, so that's number one. Now number two is we are a mastermind. So Ted, why don't you kind of share with me, what's your definition of a mastermind?
Mastermind is when two or more minds come together to create a third mind.
Thank you very much. And the big thing about a mastermind is that we come together in a spirit of harmony. And what's the key word, guys?
Harmony.
Yeah, thank you. Harmony. So welcome to all of you guys who are also out there in Facebook land. I hope you're coming to us in the spirit of harmony. And so the only thing I do ask is that while we're playing here, I want everybody to play it 100%. Everybody's going to play it 100%?
Yes.
Yeah, Robert, yes, you're good too? All right, very good. All right, very good. All right, so the first thing I want to do is, let me ask you a question. How many of you guys would like to have a lot more money in your life? Can I see show of hands?
Well,
great. And
my hand's raised.
Like to have a whole lot more happiness in your life?
My
How
hand.
would like to have a whole lot more of both in your life?
Whoop,
Great,
whoop.
awesome. Well, that's what Tuesday mornings are really all about. They're really all about developing the mindset and the blueprint. And the key word is what, guys?
Mindset.
Blueprint. What's the word?
Blueprint.
Yeah, blueprint. In fact, this past weekend I was at this amazing event that was held by my good friend Howard Chait and some of his associates. You guys know Howard by any chance? No?
No.
So it was called Raise the Vibration. And so it was a full day of music. How many of you guys would agree? Music is a great way to raise your vibration, right?
Oh, yes.
And really inspirational speakers that actually raise the vibration. Now, I actually had a chance to speak at that, and when I spoke, I talked about something that I think it's really, really critical that we all understand. So I always talk to you guys about this book called Think and Grow
Rich.
Yeah, thank you. How many have you guys read Think and Grow Rich? Yeah, okay. So I've been reading that book for a very, very long time. And in the book, at the very beginning of the book, Napoleon Hill says that there's a secret. And he's not going to tell you what the secret is exactly, but he's in every chapter of the book, he said that he would, without actually using the words, he would tell you the secret to thinking and growing rich. So he would tell you the 13 principles, but you had to figure out what the secret was on your own. So for many, many, many years after he wrote the book, if you Google what is the secret in Think and Grow Rich, there's lots of people that speculate on what they think it might be. So, like Robert, do you have any idea what you think the secret is in Think and Grow Rich? Any idea?
I think the secret's mindset.
You think it's the secret is mindset?
Mindset. You know.
Okay, all right.
Your
That's
beliefs.
interesting. All right. Tab, do you have any idea?
I don't know what it is, but if I had to guess,
Yeah?
mastermind.
Mastermind? Okay. So he did mention specifically the word mastermind. What he said is, I didn't actually mention what the real secret is. I give you in every chapter I tell you pretty much what it is, but I don't specifically say it. So one of the things that I kept wondering is, I wonder what the secret is. And again, if you look, and by the way, if anybody out there that's watching might know what the secret is that Napoleon Hill was referring to, by all means go ahead and type it in, and Robert will kind of share with me anything that anybody writes. But here's what I found out. I read the book in 1969, and in 2003, I believe it was, I was introduced to this couple called Esther and Jerry Hicks. Now, have you guys ever heard of Esther or Jerry Hicks? Have you ever heard of Abraham Hicks?
Yeah.
Okay, so Abraham Hicks is a non-human entity that communicates through Esther Hicks.
Yeah.
And
You know?
And together, Esther Hicks and Jerry Hicks wrote a book called The Law of Attraction. And they took that book called The Law of Attraction and they made a movie out of it and they called it The Secret. So have you guys seen the movie The Secret?
I have.
Okay. And by the way, tonight at our offices from 6 till 9, We're doing a 3-hour event. We're providing the food. It's $25 to attend, but it goes from 6 till 9. And if you're watching and you watch The Secret, here's what we're going to be doing. First of all, we're going to be networking, but the other thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be watching the movie The Secret, and we're going to be stopping it all along the movie to discuss the principles that they're talking about in the movie and how can we immediately begin to apply it in our life. So we're going to take the movie The Secret and we're going to say, okay, well, there's lots of good stuff in here. How do we actually apply it to make our lives more successful using the law of attraction? And by going back to law of attraction, the people that wrote the book, Law of Attraction, Jerry Hicks was a disciple. He was a student of Napoleon Hill's. And what was deleted 37 times from the book that the general public saw. 37 times. Now, why do you think that the publishers and the editors of Think and Grow Rich would delete the word vibration?
Because they didn't understand it at the time.
Because they didn't understand it at the time? You think that's why? Robert, why do you think they would delete the word vibration?
Too religious probably. Maybe.
Too religious?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm not sure why the editors and the publishers of Think and Grow Rich decided that the general masses either wouldn't understand it, or maybe they didn't want the general masses to know this. Because here's basically the secret, as far as I can tell, that if you can learn, first of all, Napoleon Hill said, I'm going to teach you a philosophy of success. How many of you guys would like to learn a philosophy? How many believe there is a philosophy of success that actually works in the real world? You don't have to invent it, it's already there. How many agree? Would you guys agree? Okay. Say absolutely. And Napoleon Hill wrote the philosophy of success, and it's made up of 13 principles. How many principles, guys?
13.
Thank you. 13 principles. And what Napoleon Hill said was this, is that he said, if you can master, what's the word?
Master.
Thank you. If you can master the first 12 principles, then the 13th principle would automatically happen for you. Automatically. Now, do you guys know what the 13th principle is?
No.
It's called the sixth sense. What's it called, guys?
Sixth sense.
The sixth sense. Thank you. The sixth sense. So, how many of you would agree you do have a sixth sense? What is it? How would you describe your sixth sense?
An inner knowing.
An inner knowing? What do you think, Robert?
Sixth sense. Yeah, I would say the same thing. It's basically it's like extrasensory perception or intuition, something like that. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So intuition, right?
Yeah.
So Napoleon Hill said that if you mastered the first 12 principles, then your sixth sense would automatically be able to tap into your sixth sense. Now, here's the other thing he said. Napoleon Hill said this. He said, everything is energy. Everything is what, guys?
Energy.
Thank you. Everything is energy. How many would agree? Everything is energy.
I agree.
Okay, energy travels in frequencies and vibration.
Vibration.
Thank you. So, does energy die?
No.
No, energy never dies. It can transform from one form of energy into another, but energy never dies. So, are thoughts a form of energy?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So all the greatest ideas, all of the greatest minds, all of the greatest answers to all of your questions, those thoughts have already been thought by people much wiser than you or me. How many would agree?
Yes.
Yes.
Right? And what Napoleon Hill said is, those thoughts are a form of energy. Isn't that true?
Yes.
And energy never dies. Isn't that true?
True.
So those thoughts are in the ether. Now, where is the ether?
Everywhere.
Yeah, it not only is it all around us, is it all through us?
Yes.
Yeah, because if you actually looked at us at a microscopic level, we're mostly space.
Yeah.
Raise your hand if you believe that's true.
Well,
Yes.
70% water.
Yes.
So the ether is all around us and through us. True or true?
True.
So the greatest answers to your biggest questions already exists in the ether, and they're vibrating at a certain frequency. How many would agree? Now, if you could vibrate at the same frequency as those thoughts, what do you think might happen?
You'll see them.
That's right, you'll have a lot of success.
Guess what your sixth sense is? Your sixth sense is when you're vibrating at the right frequency, you will tap into what Napoleon Hill called infinite intelligence. And all of the answers to all of the questions, to everything you need to know to live a hugely happy, successful, and wealthy life is already out there. Every answer you need. You don't have to reinvent the wheel at all. All you have to do is vibrate at the right what?
Frequency.
Yeah. If you were listening to a radio station that you didn't like, what would you do?
Change the channel.
And when you're changing the channel, all you're doing is changing the
Vibration.
frequency. How many would agree?
Yes.
Right? I mean, so if you're not happy with the results you're getting, guess what you need to do? You need to change the channel, which means you need to change your
Frequency.
How many would agree with that? Okay, now, do you think most people even think about changing their frequency?
No.
No, they're vibrating at a very, very, very low frequency. And because they're vibrating at such a low frequency, you know what kind of results they get?
Low.
Low results.
Low results, right? Okay. So what I'm hoping is that while we're here for the 90 precious minutes, and how long are we here for, guys?
90.
90 minutes.
Thank you. 90 precious
minutes.
Right? So if we're going to be spending our 90 precious minutes here, I want us to make sure that we're vibrating at the highest possible frequency. Because when you're vibrating at that high frequency, that's when your sixth sense kicks in. That's when you get those flashes of inspiration. That's when you get those hunches. That's when these amazing light bulbs go off in your mind and you have those aha moments. You guys know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yes.
How many of you would like to have a lot more aha moments? Okay. If you want to have more aha moments, guess who you got to be vibrating?
High.
Higher frequency.
Right? You got to be vibrating at a higher frequency because everything, what's the word?
Everything.
Everything is energy. How many would agree?
Absolutely.
Everything is energy. Your thoughts are a form of energy. True or true?
True.
Okay. So again, the higher your frequency is, the more you tap into the greatest answers for you. You don't have to search for your answers. They're out there. All you have to do is quiet your mind, raise your vibration, and tap into it. How many think that's true?
Oh,
In
yeah.
fact, Napoleon Hill says that there was a time whenever he was working with a client and they were working on a challenge, he would go into a big room, a quiet room, turn off all the lights, and then sit and listen for answers. And all he did was raise his frequency and his vibration and let all the answers to whatever the challenge was come to him. How many think that's a pretty cool idea? How many would like to do that?
Oh,
How
yeah.
many think do that? To me, nobody does it.
Right.
Nobody. Now, my hope is that for you guys, that, in fact, I want for all of you guys to grab a piece of paper, if you would, please. And Robert, you're the exception to the rule because you're my videographer. Let's give it up for Robert.
Yeah, Robert.
All right, let's give it up. Thank you, Robert.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. And by the way, let's give it up for Corey, guys.
Woo! Corey!
Thank you so much, Corey. Look at all this great food here. We've got bagels, we've got blocks, we've got fruit, we've got yogurt. We need more people to be showing up here, right? Yeah.
Can I take notes on my phone?
Absolutely, you bet. All right. So here's what I want us to do, is I want us to be vibrating at the highest possible frequency for 90 minutes. How many think it's a good idea?
Very
Right?
so.
Okay, good. So, and even before we do that, again, I have two rules every time I do any speaking or any training. And even before I do that, what's the expression? Woody Allen made it famous. 80% of all success is what?
Showing up.
Yeah, showing up. So congratulations to you guys for showing up. Absolutely. So real quickly, reach around and pat both your neighbors on the back and say congratulations for showing up.
Psychological pounding.
Congratulations for showing up. Good
Thank you.
job, Robert. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So anytime I do speaking or training, two rules. What's the first rule, guys? Don't believe a word I
Say.
Yeah. Why do I always remind you not to believe a word I say?
You're coming from your perspective.
Yeah, I'm only coming from my own experience. It doesn't make it true. It doesn't make it false. It doesn't make it right, and it doesn't make it wrong. It just makes it my experience. But whose experience is important here this morning?
Mine.
Yeah, your experience is important here this morning. So all I can tell you guys is that the principles and the ideas that we're going to talk about today have transformed my life. that have now transformed the lives of literally thousands and thousands and
Thousands
of other people. And if you learn these principles and if you actually do them in your life, I believe your life will be transformed too. So how many of you guys want to be open?
I am.
All of you guys want to be open?
Yes.
Right? Okay. And we're actually going to do these principles and ideas out in your life. And if they work for you, you're going to keep on doing them. And if they don't work for you, you're going to toss them away. So how many guys want to be open?
Me.
Is anybody not? Okay, very good. All right. And I hope at home, if you're watching this at your office or you're watching this on Facebook, that you want to be open as well. Now, as for rule number 2, since you're spending your precious time here, how many of you guys want to get the very, very most out of this morning?
Me.
How many want to learn faster?
Me.
How many want to remember more of what you learned?
Absolutely.
Okay, and research indicates what's the key to all that?
Participation.
Yeah, participation and involvement, right? That's where we raise our energy level. That's where we raise our vibration, yes? Okay.
Yes.
So you guys know us to ask a lot of questions, and what do questions do, guys?
Hook the mind.
Yeah, questions hook the mind. What do questions do?
Hook the
Come
mind.
on, twice as loud.
Hook the mind.
Yeah, questions hook the mind. How many of you guys would love to become financially free?
Me.
Then the best way, the fastest way, the easiest way to accomplish that is to become great at asking
Questions.
How many believe that's true?
Absolutely.
And I can teach you lots of different ways to ask the right questions in the right sequence. And if you and Robert will attest to it, when you do my sales training program, I will teach you exactly, what's the word?
Exactly.
Which questions to ask in which order to get lots of people to say, I would love to do business with you. How many would like to know how to do that? Yeah, because really that's the fastest, easiest way. Now sometimes I leave the last word off the end of my sentence and your mind just fills in the
Blank.
The blank, very, very good. And sometimes I ask you to write something down. In fact, I'm going to have you write something down here pretty soon. Right? And sometimes I ask you to repeat things. Now, why would I ask you to repeat something?
Because
Repetition is the mother of learning.
That's true. It is the mother of learning. Why else would I ask you to repeat something?
when you say something, it means one thing, but when I say it, it means everything.
Boy, Robert's turned into a great student, hasn't he? Let's give it up for Robert. All right, good job, Robert. Yeah, if I say it, it means one thing, but when you say it, it means
Everything.
How many would agree? Absolutely, you bet. How many guys want to participate 100%?
Me.
Is anybody not? Okay, we're going to find out. And just for the record, which of you guys wouldn't raise your hands no matter what I asked you? Where's Randy? Randy's the happy, what's he called now? The happy wanderer?
Yeah, I think so.
Or the,
Nomad.
Nomad.
the wandering nomad? What's he
Yeah.
called?
I think I took one
Well, if
in.
Randy's watching, we miss you, Randy. When's he coming home? When are you coming home, Randy? All right, anyways. So we miss Randy, right? Okay, very good. All right, so what I want to do right now is, first of all, how many of you guys are friends of mine on Facebook?
Me.
I think all of us are, right? Okay.
Yep.
So I wrote a post this morning, and in it basically I said, set the intention you're going to have an amazing breakthrough today. Set the intention. And what's the key word?
Intention.
Yeah, do you think most people set an intention? No. People do not live intentional lives. I was talking with someone, and they were saying, I don't know what I was in a car accident. Oh, that's right. He says, I'm minding my own business. What did I do to deserve to get in this car accident? What did I do? I'm a good person. I'm sending out positive vibes. What did I do? How come, And then I said, well, let me ask you something. Before you got in the car to drive that day, did you set the intention that you were going to have a nice, safe trip and that you'd be aware of all the people around you and all the people around you would be aware of you? Did you set that intention before you got in the car? And he said, no. And I said, well, the guy that hit you, do you think the guy that hit you set that intention? And he said, no. So neither one of you set the intention before you got in the car to have a nice, safe trip. Are thoughts things?
Yes.
Raise your hand if you agree, thoughts are things.
Absolutely.
So if you set the intention that you're going to have a nice, safe trip, that you're going to be aware of all the people around you and they're going to be aware of you, are you setting that energy force out there into the universe?
Yes.
Are you?
Yes.
Yeah. If you don't send it out there and the person who hit you didn't send it out there, is it really an accident? Or you never set the intention to have a safe trip, so you didn't? Everything in your life should be intentional. What's the word?
Intentional.
Yeah. If you wake up in the morning and you set the intention you're going to have a totally amazing day, you're going to be healthy, you're going to be vibrant, you're much more likely to have it if you set the intention first, because setting an intention, a thought.
Yes.
Yes.
Are thoughts things?
Yes.
Yeah, do they have their own unique frequency and vibration?
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah, they live. Those thoughts live, right? So the more you become intentional at what you do, the more successful you're going to be. So, in other words, before I came here today, I set the intention that for 90 minutes I was going to share with you knowledge in such a way that you guys would have a breakthrough today. That's my intention. So I want for you to set an intention that over the next 90 minutes, at least one major breakthrough is going to happen in your life. Something we're going to be talking about, something that you're going to think about, some kind of flash. If we're vibrating at the right level, do you think you're going to be able to identify a breakthrough idea during the next 90 minutes? How many believe you could?
Oh.
See, I totally believe you could. In fact, I know you will. So number one is to set that intention up front. All right? So I want for you guys to take like 20 seconds and just mentally set the intention that you're going to have an amazing breakthrough either this morning while we're all here or some point during the day, and really make a commitment to it. So let's just take 20 seconds and set that intention and really focus your thoughts on it. Okay. All right. So we've set the intention. So I want everybody to make some notes here. And if you're watching at home, I hope you'll participate as well, because the more you think about this stuff, the deeper into your subconscious mind this information goes. How many would agree? And how many want? What is the definition of insanity? Write it down if you know it. Definition of insanity. Insanity is, or insanity means. And if you guys know at home, type it in. Okay. Insanity. What, Sheila, what's insanity mean?
Doing the same thing over and over again and getting the same results.
Well, insanity and expecting a different
Expecting-
result.
right.
Okay? So insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. How many would agree? That's insanity. Okay. So how many of you guys want to become financially free? Okay, now is this something that you just realized today, or is this something you've realized quite some time ago? Raise your hand if quite some while ago you wanted to become financially free. Okay. So why aren't you financially free? Why aren't you financially free?
Insanity.
Because we keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. We still want to become financially free, but after doing it for a while and not becoming financially free, you would think a sane person would say, well, this doesn't work. I need to change my strategy. How many
Yes.
would agree?
Absolutely.
Okay, absolutely. Okay. So for most people, are most people financially free?
No.
Do you think most people want to become financially free?
Yes.
And yet they keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, and they want to become financially free, and they don't understand why they're not becoming financially free, because why are they not becoming financially free? Because what are they?
Insane.
They're insane. How many of you would agree that most people, by the definition of insanity, are insane? They
Oh,
keep
yeah.
doing the same thing every single day, every single week, every single month. I know people that have been telling me they want to be rich now for the last 25 years. They could keep doing the same thing every single year. What do they think is going to change?
When they change.
Before anything else can change, we are the roots. Say, we are the roots.
We are the roots.
Say, I am the root.
I am the root.
Yeah, you are the root. The results are the fruits. True or true?
True.
Okay, so in order for the results to change, who has to change first?
I do.
Yeah, okay. So most people are insane. I want for you guys to understand this. Most people are insane. They talk about what they want, and then they wonder why they don't have it, and they wonder why they struggle. And the fact is, until they change their roots, they will never change their
Fruits.
How many believe that's true? That's always the case. You know, if you have an apple tree and you want a pear tree, what do you got to do? You got to plant brand new seeds, right? That apple tree is never going to produce pears. True or true?
True.
So if all of a sudden in the marketplace apples were worthless, if you're an apple farmer, no matter how many apples you had, nobody wanted them anymore, you couldn't sell them.
Right.
What are you going to do? You're going to plant brand new seeds with brand new roots so you can get brand new fruit. Because if everybody wants pears, guess what kind of seeds you need to start cultivating?
Pears.
Yeah, what kind of roots you need to start cultivating?
Pear.
Yeah, so you get lots and lots of what?
Pears.
Yeah, okay, so you know what? Maybe once upon a time, the roots you had, which were apple roots, were great. But in this day and age, do the roots you have serve you?
No.
No. Do you think that's true for most people? No, it's not true for most people. So before you can make a change, I want for you guys to understand something. I want for you to write down, if you would please, and we've already studied this in the book, what are the 4 critical steps to permanent change? Who knows the 4 critical steps? Write them down. Number 1 is this, number 2 is this, number 3 is this, and number 4 is this. And if you know at home, go ahead and write in the comments. What are the 4 critical steps to permanent change? And if you don't know, take a guess. It's all right. I want you thinking. And that's why this book is such a great reminder. Because this is within the first part of the book. Okay. So, first of all, where does all permanent change happen? Where does it happen?
In the subconscious mind.
Thank you, in your subconscious mind. So all permanent change happens where?
Subconscious mind.
Subconscious mind, not at the conscious level, at the subconscious level. So the only way that you can do that is for, like Napoleon Hill called it autosuggestion. Napoleon Hill said, figure out what seed you want to plant. You figure that out at the conscious level. I want to plant seeds of prosperity. That's a conscious decision, isn't it?
Yes.
Now, where do you got to plant those seeds of prosperity? In your conscious mind or your subconscious mind?
Subconscious mind.
How do you do that?
Auto-suggestion.
Thank you. Is it written in the book?
Yes.
Auto-suggestion, declarations, things you say to yourself over and over and over again, so you're planting that thought deeper and deeper and deeper. What did you say repetition is the mother of?
Learn.
Okay, so imagine that your subconscious mind is like this very, very fertile field. And whatever seeds you throw there will grow. So if you throw seeds for weeds, guess what's going to grow there?
Weeds.
And if you don't throw any seeds there, weeds naturally grow there because everybody's giving you all kinds of bullshit all the time, and I'll compare those to weeds. True or true?
True.
Okay. Now, at some point or another, you got a field, which is your mind, that's filled with weeds. And you say, these weeds don't serve me. I want to have beautiful fruit trees. So what kind of seeds do you need to start planting in your subconscious mind?
Fruit.
Beautiful fruit tree seeds.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. And then do you need to tend to them? Do you need to water them? Do you need to fertilize them? Absolutely. Because if you don't intentionally plant the seeds you want, then you know what, the weeds are naturally going to grow. How many would agree?
Absolutely.
And most of us, unfortunately, there's no room for any fresh trees to grow, because until we pull out all the weeds that are in our field, that's our mind, there's no room for any fresh new plants that are going to produce great fruits. How many of you know what I'm talking about? We've so completely contaminated our mind with not only weeds, but deadly weeds. The kind of weeds that if you eat them, you die. And guess what? We sabotage ourselves with those deadly weeds all day long, every day, and we think it's normal because it's part of our field, and we think whatever's in our field must be right. You guys understand what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Okay, so how many want to change your field, that's your mind, from a contaminated field full of weeds and deadly plants to the most amazing field with lots of luscious trees with lots of luscious fruits? How many would like to do that? Okay, so there are 4 steps. How many?
4.
Thank you. And the first step is what?
Aware.
Thank you. What's the word, guys?
Awareness.
Awareness. Let's say it all together. Awareness. What's the word?
Awareness.
You have to be aware that you currently already have a whole bunch of seeds and weeds and deadly poisonous plants already inside of you. You have to be aware that that's what drives your thinking in your life all day long. How many agree? If you're not aware, you can't change it. How many would agree that you can't change it? Greetings, greetings.
If you're not aware, you can't change it.
Yes.
How many would agree?
Yes.
You can't change it. Now, how many would you agree that unfortunately, because of the way we're all conditioned, there's just tons and tons and tons of deadly, poisonous plants in our fields and weeds in our field. I mean, our field is overgrowing with all kinds of deadly plants and weeds. How many would agree that for most people, that's what we got going on?
Oh, yes.
Right? That's what's going on. Okay. So number one is aware that this is what's going on. Not just for you or me, but for every person you know. Very, very, very few people have reached a level of enlightenment, less than 2%, that's why we call ourselves a 2% club, but have reached a level of enlightenment where at least they're willing to admit that this is how they're programmed, that they have all of this contamination inside their mind. So number two, well, who knows what the second step is? Number one is awareness. Number two is, you know this, understanding. What's the word, guys?
Understanding.
Come on, twice as loud.
Understanding.
Understanding. Now, understanding comes because first of all, we're all aware people. Raise your hand if you feel you're an aware person. I hope we're all aware people here. We sure are. Okay. Understanding says, how did my field get so contaminated with all these weeds and poisonous plants? Where did all these seeds come from that have been growing in my mind forever? I wasn't born with all these contaminated, these poisonous plants. I wasn't born with all these weeds in my mind. Where in the world did they all come from?
From mommy,
And who else?
daddy.
And who else?
The rest of the people.
And who else?
The rest of the people around you.
Our society, the media, music, culture, absolutely. So did we have any control when we were just a little infant and little child growing up?
No.
What seeds were tossed into our subconscious mind?
No.
Hell no.
And because we're little and they're adults, if they said it, it must be
True.
So we allowed those seeds to get planted, no problem, because if they said it, it must be
True.
So if it's true, now their seeds are now our seeds.
Yeah.
Now that would be great if all the seeds that they were planting inside of us were healthy, vibrant, positive, empowering seeds. But we know through statistics that we hear 100 no's for every yes, 100 you're stupids for every you're great. I mean, we just reinforce negativity and disempowerment into our children whether we realize it or not. True or true?
True.
Yeah, and it happens to all of us. Okay. So the second step, if you want permanent change, how many kids want to make a monumental shift in your life today? If you want to make a monumental shift in your life today, number one is we're all aware what's going on inside of our subconscious mind right now. It's like a field that's completely contaminated with weeds and deadly plants. True or true?
True.
Okay. Number two is we totally understand how in the world, first of all, you have to understand how did all these weeds and these deadly plants get put into our mind, and we have to understand how have all of those beliefs affected the decisions we've made in our life up until now? How has it affected our life? All those beliefs. How has it affected us? And for most people, when you really sit and think about it, you say, what decisions would I have made differently if I didn't have all those weeds and all those poisonous plants in my mind? So you have to understand, A, how did they get there? And B, how have they affected the decisions you've made in your life? Is that important?
Yes.
Raise your hand if you believe that's really important. Yeah, we don't ever think about this stuff, but it's terribly important. Now, who knows what the third step is? You know, Denise? Okay, you want to share it? Disassociation. What's the word, guys?
Disassociation.
Come on, twice as loud.
Disassociation.
Yeah, disassociation. Now, disassociation means that you don't, just because those seeds got planted in your field when you were 2 years old, 3 years old, 4 years old, 5 years old, 6 years old, 7 years old. By the way, when they were planted back then, you don't even remember that they were planted, but trust me, are they still there?
Yes.
Oh, all the the stuff you heard, all the stuff you see, all the stuff you experience, it's still in your subconscious mind, and it rules your life. It rules your life. You can know everything there is to know about door knocking and getting business. You can know everything there is to know about money management and all the other things we talk about here. But until your blueprint, what's the word?
Blueprint.
Is set for high levels of success, nothing you learn, nothing you say, and nothing you do is going to make much of a difference for you. So are beliefs true or false? Are beliefs true or false? What do you think, Denise? They're neither? Okay. Beliefs are merely our best guess. What is it?
Best guess.
Based on the information we currently have. Isn't that true?
Yes.
Okay. Now, is it possible that you could have a certain belief and all of a sudden you get some new information and now your belief totally changes?
Yes.
Is it possible?
Oh, yes.
I'll give you an example, and I don't mean this in any way, shape, or form because I hate politics and politicians, period. I go on record as saying that. I'm not into politics at all. But I truly, honestly believe in 2016, on election day, that Hillary Clinton was going to win. I truly, honestly believe that there was nobody on the planet that could persuade me otherwise. Until I watched the news and they said the probability that Donald Trump was going to win was like 95%. Because all the statistics were starting to come in now, and here are the real results. As soon as I saw a whole bunch of new information, you know what happened to my belief system?
Changed.
It went from, there's no way Donald Trump can win, Hillary Clinton is definitely going to win. Now I had, in 30 seconds, new, more current information, and my belief system then became, there's no way Hillary Clinton is going to win, Donald Trump's going to win. In the space of 30 seconds, I went from one belief to another belief. You guys have ever been through something like that?
Yes.
Absolutely. I'll give you another example. Let's say, Denise, we're talking about Mary, right? And you say, oh, I think Mary's the greatest person in the whole wide world, right? I'm sorry, Janice. Why am I saying Mary? You know what? Because, Janice. I apologize, Janice. I thought it. So we're talking. So we're talking about Janice. Right? And you say, I love Janice. I think Janice is one of the nicest people I've ever met. And I say, that's funny that you say that. Because Janice and I were having a conversation, and she thinks that you are such a pathetic, useless tool, right? or something negative. Now, would your opinion of someone change if you got new information and now you come? Yeah. Okay. So beliefs are neither true or false or right or wrong. And I apologize, Janice. Shame on me, right? I mean, my bad. So beliefs are neither true or false or right or wrong. They're merely our best guess. What are they?
Best guess.
Okay, so should we believe all of our beliefs are 100% absolutely true?
Yeah.
Should we be open to new information, and if we get new information, be willing to completely change our belief system if we find something that's closer to the truth than what we currently believe?
We should.
Sure, absolutely. Now, who gets to choose who your beliefs are?
We do.
Who does?
I do.
Yeah, you get to choose. When do you get to choose what your beliefs are?
Right now.
Yeah. If you want to change a belief, whose decision is that?
Mine.
Yeah. When can you change a belief?
Now.
Anytime at all. So if you have any beliefs, what's the word?
Any.
That are either negative or disempowering, when would be a good time to change that belief?
Now.
When?
Now.
When?
Now.
And guess what? All of us have many, what's the word?
Many.
Disempowering and negative beliefs that are growing all through our fields. True or true?
True.
Okay, so first, you got to be aware you got them. Number two, you need to be able to understand how in the world did these ridiculous beliefs get thrown into my brain, and how have they affected my life and the decisions that I've made. Number three is disassociate. What's the word?
Disassociate.
From now on, you know what? Maybe those were my mom's beliefs. Maybe those were my parents' beliefs. Maybe they were my religious leaders' beliefs. Maybe they were my friends' beliefs. And you know what? I chose those beliefs, and they haven't worked for me. It's time for me to disassociate from those beliefs because they don't serve me. They're not getting me what I want in my life. Does this make sense to everybody?
Yes.
Okay. So, step 3 in permanent change. How many of you guys want permanent change? Okay. Okay, and where's all this change happening? In our what? In our
Subconscious.
subconscious mind. Where's the change happening, guys?
Subconscious.
Come on, twice as loud.
Subconscious.
Tell your neighbor that.
Subconscious.
Yeah, all the change that's happening is
Subconscious.
happening in your subconscious mind, okay? So all this change is happening. So now you understand a universal spiritual principle. This is a spiritual principle. What is it?
Spiritual.
Thank you. The universe abhors a vacuum. Let me hear you.
The universe abhors a vacuum.
In other words, the universe, if you move something out of a space, something else has to fill it. How many understand what I just said? There are no vacuums. As soon as there's a vacant space, the universe will fill it. Always. Okay? So if you're going to disassociate with all of your negative and disempowering habits, and you're going to say, these beliefs do not serve me any longer, goodbye. There's a void. There's a space. You have to fill that space with something else. If you're going to get rid of something, you have to replace it with something else.
Gratitude.
Right? Okay? Well, it can be gratitude, but the word is reconditioning. What's the word?
Reconditioning.
Come on, twice as loud.
Reconditioning.
Reconditioning. That's step number 4. Reconditioning. Okay? So what's number 1?
Awareness.
Yeah, being aware of all the crap that's in your subconscious mind right now that has been planted by a whole bunch of other people, not you. Or if it was planted by you, it was planted by the imagination and the impressions of a 2-year-old greeting, of a 2-year-old, a 3-year-old, a 4-year-old, a 5-year-old. So you made certain opinions to something that happened to you when you were 5 years old, and you still live by those opinions today. Raise your hand if you believe that's really what goes on.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. It goes on all the time, right? So if we want to make a major shift in our lives, how many of you guys want to make a major shift?
Absolutely.
See, and I want you guys to make a major shift. And until we get this foundational stuff down, no matter what I teach you about business, sales, marketing, networking, how to really make the real stuff, the real work is not making all that money. The real work is programming yourself to be the person capable of making all that money. Because once you're capable, everything I teach you, you'll do it like a snap. There'll be no problem at all. But until you reprogram yourself to be that right person, I can teach you till kingdom come. Harv Eker can teach you till kingdom come. Tony Robbins can teach you till kingdom come. Andy PSI can teach you till kingdom come. You're never going to make those breakthroughs because it begins with what's going on right here between our ears. True, true.
True.
And all of us are so programmed for failure, for negativity, for disempowerment, that we don't allow our greatest potential to rise out of us. True, true.
True.
And I want you guys vibrating at such a high level that, you know what, the best of you is shining all the time. How many of you have ever heard of this idea called an aura? Have you ever met somebody that just said, that just has an aura, she has an aura about it? What's that mean, an aura?
Energy.
An energy field surrounding them? Okay, I want you guys to have that aura. By the way, do you have one?
Yes.
Yeah, the higher you vibrate, you think the stronger your aura is?
Oh, yes.
And the lower you vibrate, what? Tell me about your aura when you vibrate lowly.
It's weaker.
It doesn't even exist. True, true. Yeah, you know, what's the law of attraction? What's it say? Like attracts like. A high vibrational person is going to attract what kind of people?
High vibration.
Yeah, hopefully enlightened people that are going for it, that have made up their mind they're going to be the very, very, very best they can be. You know what? Almost nobody reaches their full potential. How many believe that's true?
True.
In fact, here's the fact. Over 80% of all people are never ever achieve true happiness, and over 80% of all people never ever become financially free in the way that they'd like to be free. Raise your hand if you believe that's true. Why do you think that is? In a country, in a society, in a world where the technology allows any one of us to start a little business of our own, out of our own house if we want, for a few $100, and in no time at all be making thousands of dollars. True, true.
True.
And yet most people struggle their entire financial life. Why? Why? Okay, so let me ask you guys a question. This is why it's so important that we talk about these wealth files here, and we're going to get into this wealth file. But you know what? Foundational stuff. This stuff is timeless. This is the stuff that Wallace Wattles and Napoleon Hill and even going back thousands of years. If you read Don Miguel Ruiz and you're reading about the Toltecs, do you know what we want? You know how old the Toltec traditions go back? Thousands of years. This is Toltec wisdom. This is not some woo-woo stuff that someone dreamed up. This is like the real stuff. If you understood, see, I was at an event, and here, I'm going to show it to you. Okay, first of all, who knows what this is?
Tree of life.
Oh, very good, you can all read. Okay. Okay, and what do we know about the tree of life? On the tree of life, what do you think these red things are?
Apples.
Apples, fruits, right? And the fruits represent the results in our life, right? Okay. And so, most people, do you think most people are really happy with the results in their life, or do you think most people are disappointed in the results in their life?
Disappointed.
Yeah, they look at their apples, they say they're too small, they don't taste good, not enough of them. True.
True.
Where do we put all of our attention? On our results. True.
True.
But where should we be putting all of our attention? Where did these apples come from?
Roots.
The roots. Right? That's where we need to be putting our attention, not putting our attention on our results. We need to be putting our attention on our roots. True. Okay, because these roots create those fruits. Isn't that true?
Yes.
It's what's under the ground that creates what's above the ground. Isn't that true?
True.
It's what's invisible that creates what's visible. Isn't that true?
True.
Now, is that true sometimes in nature or always in nature?
Always.
Are you a part of nature?
Yes.
Then is that true for you too?
Yes.
All right, very good. Now, the next thing I said, and you guys will really want you to understand this, is why do you think over 80% of all people never really reach their full potential? Because they live in one realm alone. They live in the physical realm. Which realm?
Physical.
Yeah, and what all of us need to understand is we're living in 4 different realms simultaneously. How many?
4.
You need to understand this. And if you learn nothing else today, you have a major breakthrough today, let this be the breakthrough. We live in the mental realm. What's the word?
Mental.
Yeah, do you think all day long?
Yes.
Yeah. We live in the emotional world. What world?
Emotional.
Yeah, do we have emotions all day long?
Yes.
Okay. We live in the spiritual world. Which world?
Spiritual.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a certain vibration about us all day long. And then we live in the physical, real world. Everything we can see, touch, smell, taste, hear.
True.
We live in all 4. M stands for what?
Mental.
E stands for?
Emotional.
S stands for?
Spiritual.
And P stands for?
Physical.
And physical. Physical is all the stuff, all the money we have, the clothes we wear, the car we drive, the house we live in, our bank accounts, our friends, everything is physical. You guys understand what I'm talking about?
Yes.
And what most people never get their entire lives, because they only live in this realm, they don't even think about these 3, is that your physical world, everything that you can see, touch, smell, taste, hear, your bank account, your house, your friends, everything, is nothing more than a printout. What's the word?
Printout.
Of these 3 areas. These are the fruits, but these are the roots that create these fruits.
True.
This is what's above the ground. This is what's below the ground. This is what's visible. This is what's invisible. How many would agree?
Yes.
Yeah. Nothing happens in the real world until it first manifests in these 3 worlds first. How many understand what I just said?
I do.
So you have to understand. Money is a result. What is it?
A result.
Yeah. Wealth is a result. Health is a result. Illness is a result. Your weight is a
Result.
We live in the world of cause and
Effect.
yeah. So if you're complaining that a lack of money is a bit of a problem, I'm going to tell you right now, a lack of money is never, ever, 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 ever a problem. A lack of money is merely a symptom. What's the word?
Symptom.
Of what's going on underneath. Lack of money is a result. What's the root cause? Right? So the only way to permanently, what's the word?
Permanently.
Come on, twice as loud.
Permanently.
Yeah, change your other world is to first change your
Inner world.
Yeah, so let's do a declaration. So I want everybody to stand up if you would please, with a little bit of energy.
Whoa!
Okay. And put your hand on your chest. And repeat after me. My inner world creates my outer world. Let me hear you.
My inner world creates my outer world.
Again, please.
My inner world creates my outer world.
Okay, one more time, twice as loud.
My inner world creates my outer world.
Okay, turn to a neighbor, look him in the eye, give him a high five and say, you have a millionaire mind. Robert.
You have a millionaire mind.
All right, have a seat.
You have a millionaire mind.
All right, okay, very good. All right, good job, guys. Yes, Janice.
Yeah, I'd like to clarify, at least in my life, I've been told all my life that I'm supposed to take care of everybody else for me. And so changing that 180, that I'm the most important person I'm taking care of on this planet.
Absolutely, you bet. Very, very much so. Absolutely. You know, although I would say, service to others is really the ultimate, but service to yourself, taking care of yourself first. Because if you don't take care of yourself, you're not going to be able to serve others. True. Okay, so you know what? It's not bad. In fact, I actually believe it's essential that you become selfish. You do?
Self-caring.
What's that?
Self-caring.
Self-caring, and you know what? If you choose to be a people pleaser, you are never going to be a happy person because you can never please all the people all the time. And every new person you meet, you got to please them, or else you're going to be a failure. Right. So learn. Would you think most people think that they need to be a people pleaser?
Yeah.
They do. When you become an enlightened warrior, and I train this. The only opinion in the world that really matters is whose?
Ma.
That's the only. If you believe you're fantastic and somebody thinks you're a piece of crap, do you care what they think? No. If you feel like a piece of crap and someone says you're fantastic, does it really matter? No, you still feel like a piece of crap. You do. So what you think and how you believe about yourself is the most important thing. How many would agree with that?
Yes.
And it's proven, right? I mean, you can argue all you want, and if your blueprint is that you've got to be a people pleaser for everybody, then I will tell you, people pleasers are the most unhappiest people I know. The only person you need to please in your life is who?
Me.
You. Right? That's the only person you need to please. If you please yourself, that's the most important thing in life. All right. Okay, very good. So, we're going to be getting into this wealth file here, but one of the things that I do know is whenever I ask this question, how many of you would like to have the choice? And what's the key word, guys?
Choice.
Come on, twice as loud.
Choice.
Yeah, to be able to spend your time doing exactly what you want without worrying about having to earn a living. How many would like to have that choice?
Yes.
Oh, me.
Okay, what percent of all the people do you know would like to have that choice?
Everyone.
Everyone would like to have that choice. In other words, if they work by
Choice.
Now, is there a difference between working because of necessity and working because of choice?
Yes.
Is a difference? Yeah, what's the difference?
Happiness.
What's the difference between working by choice versus working by necessity? Liberty. Freedom, right? If at that point, if you're working, it's not because you have to.
Right.
It's because you really love what you do.
Exactly.
Right? Very often, guess who makes the most money? People are doing what they love to do. Right? So there's almost like an added benefit to it, right? Okay. So how do you get to have that choice? To be able to live your life doing exactly what you want without worrying about having to earn a living. How do you get to have that choice? When you become what? What are the two words?
Financial freedom.
Fine, when you become financially free. How many would agree you get that choice when you become financially free? So what is the definition of financial freedom?
When your passive income is bigger than your expenses.
When your passive income is bigger than your, that's a good definition of it. Does anybody else want to add anything? Okay, I would like for you guys to write down the definition we use here at the 2% Club. And it's right out of the book, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, written by Hart, right? So financial freedom is the ability. What's the word?
The ability.
Twice as loud.
The ability.
To live the lifestyle you desire.
To live the lifestyle.
To live the
Lifestyle you desire.
Without having to work.
Without having to work.
Okay, and make sure you're writing this down. Or relying on anyone else for income. That's financial freedom. The ability to live the lifestyle you desire, and don't write the word you, write in the word I. The ability to live the lifestyle I desire without having to work. What's the expression?
Without having to work.
Again.
Without having to work.
Again.
Without having to work.
Again.
Without having to work.
Tell your neighbor.
Without having to work.
Yeah. Without or rely on anyone else for income. Now, in order for you to have money coming in without having to work for it, we have a name for that kind of income. What do we call that kind of income?
Passive income.
It's what's it called?
Passive income.
Passive or residual income, right? Okay. So for you to become financially free, you have to have enough passive or residual income coming in every month to pay your monthly bills. How many would agree?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So when were you taught that if you wanted to become financially free, you would have to create enough, what kind of income?
Passive.
To pay for your desired lifestyle. When were you taught that you had to become really masterful at creating passive income streams? When?
Never.
Never.
Here.
Here.
Well, here, yeah.
Until you create passive income streams, how can you ever become financially free?
Yeah.
Because the only kind of income we've all been trained to earn is called working income. What's it called?
Working.
Yeah. When we were old enough to know, and we said, hey, Mom, Dad, can I have an allowance? And eventually they got to a point where they said, no, you want money? Go to
Work.
get a
Job.
Yeah. How many of you guys ever heard that when you were growing up?
Right
you
here.
want money? Go to work, get a job. Raise your hand if you heard it. And whoever said go earn some passive income? Did anybody ever tell you earn passive income?
They didn't know what it was.
Okay, what percentage of all society is told go earn passive income?
2% maybe.
Yeah, 2%.
Maybe? Maybe less than that?
Yes.
What percentage of our society are told go to work, get a job?
100.
100%. Wait a minute. What percentage of our society go to public school?
100.
Pretty much 100%. I mean, some people are homeschooled, and some people, but the vast majority go to public school. They're taught by teachers, true or true?
True.
Are those teachers working?
Yes.
Yeah. Do they have a job?
Yes.
What are they going to teach you?
How-
How to go to work?
Be getting work.
Is that true in college when you go to your college professors?
Yep.
Are they working?
Yes.
Yeah. What can they teach you to do?
Work.
That'd be
Yeah.
a
So
good
the whole education system is set up for you to learn how to what? Go
Work.
to work. Get a
Job.
Okay. So there's a couple of problems with that. Number one, and the problem with working income is number one, you got to work for it. Number two, what happens to that income as soon as you stop working?
It stops coming in.
It goes away. So when will be a good time for you to begin to master the skills of creating passive income streams?
Now.
When?
Now.
Yeah. If you'd known this when you were 7 or 8 years old, when would have been the best time for you to start creating passive income streams?
Then,
How much passive income do you think you'd have by now?
Enough to pay for your lifestyle?
Yeah, how many of you believe that if you've been trained this stuff from the time you were 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, that by the time you're 25, chances are pretty good you'd have made all the right decisions, and you'd be pretty much financially free before you're 30.
Oh yeah.
Because what are your seeds? Your seeds are financial freedom seeds. True or true?
True.
Okay. Passive income, residual income, everything you're doing all day long is focused towards creating what kind of income?
Passive.
Yeah, but what's your comfort zone? Passive income or working income?
Working.
Yeah, so guess what you do all day long?
Work.
Because that's what you've been doing all your life. That's your comfort zone. True or true?
True.
And then when somebody says, well, go on some passive income, you say, well, I don't know how to do that. I have the first idea, and it might be hard, and I might waste my time, and I might lose some friends, and no, I think I'll just keep doing what I'm doing. True, true.
True.
If you guys want to become financially free, how many of you guys want to become financially free?
Oh, well,
Then again, the only person you need to please is who?
me.
Yourself. If you want to become financially free, I'm going to ask you right now, what is holding you back from becoming financially free? What is holding you back right now from doing what you need to do to become financially free? Your subconscious mind. Okay, can it be more specific?
The beliefs that I have
Okay.
that are in my subconscious.
That all right? Okay. All right. Anybody else want to add something to
It
it?
takes money to make money.
Do you believe that?
Yeah.
You really believe that? Okay. Does it have to be your money?
Other people's money, too.
In my mind, it does.
No. Let me tell you something. I'm so appreciative that you said that. Because how many people have ever heard the expression, it takes money to make money?
Oh, me.
If you believe it takes money to make money and you don't have any, what's going to happen for you?
You can throw
Okay,
it
why
away.
even bother trying then,
Why
right?
try, yeah.
Okay, exactly. Okay, so I'm going to tell you it doesn't take money to make money, it takes creativity to make money. What's the word?
Creativity.
What's the word?
Creativity.
Yeah, it takes creativity to make money. Absolutely. Here was my buddy T. Harv Eker. He was broke. He had no money. Zero. So he borrowed, what's the word?
Borrowed.
$2,000 off his Visa credit card to get his business started. And 2 years later, sold his chain of stores for $1.6 million. Which is a more empowering belief? It takes money to make money, or it takes creativity to make money?
It takes creativity.
Yeah, because can all of us be creative?
Yes.
Yeah. If we're creative, we come up with a great idea. Can we find somebody who has money?
Yes.
Yeah. Could we borrow it somehow? Either something we could sell. If we wanted the money bad enough, we'd find the money. If it takes money, more often than not, if you have great ideas, attract money. True or true?
True.
Yeah. If you've got a great idea, there are people that'll throw money at you to be part of the business. Because you got a great idea. They got the money. Well, right? Which would you rather have, the great idea or the money?
The idea.
Both, right? Okay.
The money will come.
The money will come. But the problem is, what percentage of all the population believe it takes money to make money?
90%.
Okay. So for 99% of all the people, what do they think about the possibilities of making money since they don't have it? Not much, right? How about this one? The rich get richer and
Poor get poor.
so if you're poor, what must that mean for you?
It's,
Yeah, you're just going to get poor, because what happens to the poor? What happens to the poor?
they get poor.
They get poorer. How many of you heard that expression?
Me.
What do you think? What percentage of all society do you think it's heard that?
100.
All of
Yeah,
it.
what percentage do you think it's in their subconscious mind?
99.
Okay, that's part of their blueprint, isn't it?
Yes.
Those are part of the weeds that are growing in everybody's minds. Do you think they think about it all day long?
Oh, yes.
They never think about it. But it's there, it's part of their blueprint, it's part of the decision-making process. You don't think about everything in your subconscious mind. But it blends into every decision you make.
Right.
And bubbles up to your conscious mind. True or true?
True.
And that's why we call them thought farts. What do we call them?
Thought farts.
Yeah, just because your thoughts come from your subconscious mind doesn't make them true, it doesn't make them smart. The problem is we think that whatever thoughts we think must be true and smart. And we believe them. We pay attention to them. Do you guys pay attention to your farts?
We try not to.
Okay. Then you know what? These are just farts coming out the top of your head. Why would you pay any attention to them? But you know what? If we think them, we think they must be
True.
and they must be important. Otherwise, why would we have thought them? True or true?
True.
Well, I'm telling you, you have to learn a whole new way of thinking. You have to learn a completely different way to think if you want to break free of this kind of mindset. True or true?
True.
Okay, absolutely, you bet. So yes, go ahead, Janice.
You know, when I think about all of that you were talking about, T. Hart, he finally also learned to truly focus. He had disciplined himself to so focus on that business for 3.5 years that he built it to what it was.
Yes.
And he hadn't had that before.
Yes, I think you're absolutely right, Janice.
He loved to play, you know, and I think that's why he lost a number of businesses, because he hadn't matured to the point where he could really focus on what he wanted.
I totally agree with you. I think that's a very, very astute observation. Very, very well said. And I will say this, that during the 2 years that I helped Harv build Peak Potentials, not only is he the hardest working guy I've ever met, I mean, his work ethic is second to none. But he demanded it from everybody that worked with him. If your work ethic didn't keep up with his, you were out. And since I was his right-hand man, guess who he expected from the most?
You.
I mean, basically, he said, while you're working for Peak Potentials, you're going to eat, sleep, breathe, think, you know, embrace everything Peak Potentials. It's going to be your life. And he had no qualms about calling me in the middle of the night if he had an idea. He had no, I mean, I was basically on call 24/7. It didn't matter if it was the weekends. In fact, usually weekends were the busiest for us because most of our events took place over weekends. So it didn't matter day or night. It didn't matter. It just didn't matter. I mean, this guy worked his buns off. He did. And anybody that thinks that becoming financially free in a business is going to be a cakewalk, forget it. Take a job, coast, be happy with what you get, don't set high expectations, or else figure out some other strategy. Business requires total focus, commitment, everything you got. And during the 2 years I worked with Harv, I'm not sure how much time. I mean, he took time off to be with family. I take that back. When he played at 100%.
Exactly.
You know, and he was making enough money that for him and the family to go to like the nicest places. Plus, guess what Harv taught? Harv taught you how to use credit cards to get points. So when Harv would be doing an event and our costs were $50,000 or $60,000 for the event, guess what he paid for them with?
Credit
Credit cards.
Yeah. Now it was a nightmare to reconcile his credit card because we couldn't tell if this expense was for this event or this. So it was hard to break up, by event which expenses were which because they were all on one credit card. But Harv would amass hundreds of thousands, millions of points. So even though he could afford to go to the nicest places, he would go to all these all-inclusive resorts with his points, take the whole family, go like for 3 weeks, and he would say, I literally would take $100 in my pocket and come home with $100 because it was all-inclusive. Now this is a multi-millionaire who can afford, but he's still telling you, hey, you know what? I got a company. We have huge expenses. They put them on the card. Those expenses buy me luxury trips all around the world. Is that a good idea?
Yes.
Yeah. If you were in this position, would you do that?
Yes.
He was always looking for a way to leverage whatever situation was from a financial and business perspective. Yes, go ahead, Janice.
He cared enough about us. He did not need to start MMA.
He did not. Well, on the one hand, he did not. On the other hand, he did. Because if how many of you guys believe that you have a destiny in life? That you have a mission? I really the expression that Harv uses that he calls it your dharma. Mm-hmm. It's your purpose in life. How many believe that when you came into this world, you had a purpose for your life? Mm-hmm. And I really honestly believe that Harv came to a realization that his purpose, his dharma, was to train and educate and inspire people who really had a passion for reaching their full potential. I really believe that. That was his dharma. Right. So he had to do it because he was driven by his desire to do this. Plus, he practices what he preached. He's a financial evangelist. And there are 3 reasons that Harv said all of us should aspire to reach financial freedom and great wealth. And number 1 is lifestyle. What's the word?
Lifestyle.
How many of you guys would like to be able to buy the car you'd like to buy, live in the house you'd like to live in, travel when you'd like to travel, not have to worry about the daily expenses and that kind of stuff, not have to worry about that stuff, that you really get to enjoy your life. You get to see it first class. How many would like that?
Oh, yes.
Absolutely. I mean, if you could, why not, right? Well, why not enjoy the best that life has to offer? Is there anything wrong with having that mindset?
No.
Wanting to enjoy the best that life has to offer? How many of you would like to enjoy the best life has to offer?
Oh, yes.
Okay, well, that's a great reason to become financially free. Because when you're financially free, you get to enjoy the best life has to offer. How many of you would like that?
Well,
Number 2 is contribution. What's the word?
contribution.
Yeah, you can help a whole lot more people the more you have. True or true?
True.
Right. If you don't have very much, you can help with moral support, and you can help with, volunteering, that kind of stuff. But I can tell you, I ran a large nonprofit. All the help in the world is great, but sometimes nothing substitutes for money. And the more money you have, the more you can contribute to the things that make the biggest difference in your life. True or true?
True.
Right? So if you want to make a difference in this world, the more you have, the more you can make a change. True or true?
True.
You can put that, because money very often is power. You can do things when you have money that you can't do without. True or true? True. Now, how many believe that if you had money, that you would use that money for good?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So I appreciate that. Now, the third reason why you want to become financially free is because of the person you need to grow into. Well, just a few small percentage of all people reach their full potential. Would you like to be one of them?
Yes.
Then you got to grow into that person. True or true?
True.
Okay. So if you're focused on growing into a person, because if you're not a person capable of earning and keeping and growing, so there's 3 things you got to be good at. Earning, what's the word?
Earning.
Keeping, what's the word?
Keeping.
And growing, what's the word?
Growing.
Now the skills it takes to earn a lot of money, are they the same skills it takes to manage a lot of money?
No.
No. And the skills it takes to manage a lot of money, are they the same skills it takes to invest a lot of money?
No.
No. All different skill sets. True or true?
True.
Which one of those three sets of skills do you need to get good at?
All of them.
Yeah, earning it, managing it, and growing it.
Right.
Because if you earn a lot of money and you don't manage it very well, guess how much you're going to end up with?
Nothing.
Nothing. Which is why PAR's money management system and the money management system we're going to be talking about next week, not this week, because we're not going to have enough time. But it's very, very important we lay the foundation here this week. Very, very important. You know, and we're going to be talking about something that's near and dear to Denise. She actually talked about it when she spoke on on the PAR's money management system, which is Wealth File number 14. But the thing is that how many of us were taught about money? We were all taught about money. We just weren't taught in a formal setting. We were taught through what's called conditioning processes. What's it called?
Conditioning
Come on,
process.
voice it loud.
Conditioning processes.
Yeah, we were taught, and what are the three different conditioning processes? Verbal programming. What's it called?
Verbal programming.
Yeah, that's all about what did we hear when we were a kid growing up, especially when we were a kid, about money, about rich people, about business. What do we hear when we were growing up? What do we hear? Money doesn't grow on
Trees.
Yeah, money's the root of all
Evil.
It takes money to
Make money.
The rich get richer and the
Poor get poor.
Yeah, we can't afford it. It costs too much. What am I made of money? How many of you guys heard all that stuff?
Yes.
You want to know something? That's the death of you. Because even though you don't think about it all day long, that's your programming. That's your programming right now. All right? And until you become aware, what's the word?
Aware.
Yeah, until you're aware that that's your programming. And by the way, can we come up with a whole long laundry list more of things? Rich people are crooks, greedy, you know, don't we hear that stuff?
Oh, yeah.
We hear all kinds of negative stuff. We hear all kinds of negative stuff when we were a kid growing up. And then, if we don't want to be crooks, we don't want to be greedy, then we also can't get
Rich.
Yeah, because rich people are crooks, rich people are greedy, rich people are this. If we think something is negative, we can never be it.
Exactly. Yeah, right.
And guess what you're programmed to believe?
Never to be rich.
Absolutely. You're programmed to do the opposite of what it takes to be a happy, successful, financially free person. And until you become aware of it, what can you do about it? Nothing. Okay. Now, I hope, if nothing else, you become aware that, boy, inside your subconscious mind right now are so many weeds and so many poisonous plants, and that's where your conscious thoughts bubble up from all these weeds and poisonous plants. How can you possibly be a happy and successful person when our brains are so totally and completely contaminated with this stuff? True or true? True. Now, is this true for just some of us? Do you think it's true for all of us?
All of us.
How many believe it's true for all of us? That's why these 90 minutes are so critical, because when else do you ever think about this stuff? Never. Never. You need to be consciously learning this stuff, learning it every single day. Every single day you need to be learning and growing and changing, because what's the definition of insanity?
Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result.
Yeah, how many would agree? So until you change your blueprint, until you change your roots, you can't possibly change your fruits. How many would agree?
Yeah.
Right? So I'm going to tell you that the fastest way I know of for all of you guys to become financially free is in a business of your own. I'm going to tell you that right now. Now the thing is that starting a business on your own is an overwhelming task. Anybody who's ever attempted to, how many of you guys have ever attempted to open up a business of your own? Is there a lot that goes into building a business? There's so much that it's virtually impossible for a solopreneur, which is most people, to take care of everything that needs to be done on their own. True. True. So that's why, number one is, I always suggest to all of you guys, is that where's the biggest money to be made in business?
Sales.
In production, in operations, or in marketing and sales?
Marketing and sales.
Yeah, is that true in some businesses or in all businesses?
All businesses.
Okay, so you should be in the business of marketing and sales. How many would agree?
Oh, yes.
Because no matter what your commodity is, guess what you're going to be doing with that commodity?
Selling it.
You're going to be marketing it and you're going to be selling it. It doesn't matter what it is, whether it's a service, whether it's a product, you're going to be marketing it. True or true?
True.
Okay. So guess what I want for you guys to truly, 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 truly master?
Marketing and sales.
Yeah. When?
Now.
Why?
So we can be financially free.
What makes your bank account ring?
Sales.
Marketing and sales.
Marketing and sales.
What else besides marketing and sales makes your bank account ring?
Money.
Money.
Well, it rings with money, but what I'm saying, other than marketing and sales, people. People, but I mean, the point is, you can spend all your time in production. You can spend all your time in operations, but the only time any money's being made is when somebody buys something. True or true?
True.
Yes.
So, I want for you guys to become masterful. What's the word?
Masterful.
At maximizing your work time every day. If you were going to work for 8 hours a day, what would be the best use of those 8 hours? And I would say having 8 people that already know what you have to sell on your schedule to talk to, and every hour on the hour for the next 8 hours, you're on the phone talking to somebody who's interested in what you got to offer. Because when they say yes, what happens to your bank account?
Change.
It goes to chin. When else does your bank account go to chin? No other time. The only time the bank account goes to chin is when you say, well, that's awesome, Denise. Why don't we go ahead and get started? Do you have your credit card here? Great. Okay, so we're going to be charging you $1,000 now, and then every month it's going to be $500 a month. You good with that? Great. Okay, great. Boom. How many times a day would you like to have that conversation?
Oh, I mean, it's
Okay. What's stopping you from creating that funnel? What is stopping you right now from creating that funnel?
Mindset.
What's stopping you right now?
me.
Blueprint.
What's more financially productive use of your time than doing that? Talking to someone when they say yes, you say, great, well, why don't we just get the payment taken care of right now? How many times a day would you like to do that? How about if every time somebody said yes, you just made $1,000?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and you had a system, a marketing system, what's it called?
Marketing.
That was automated, what's the word?
Automated.
And you had VAs to do all the heavy lifting and all the stuff you don't like to do, like calling people up and setting appointments. And like, how would you like to have an appointment setter working for you that sets up appointments and puts them on your calendar? How many would like that? Yeah. The only time you ever talk to somebody is when they already know who you are, what you got, and somebody's already scheduled an appointment. How many would like that?
Oh, yes.
Okay, why aren't you doing that?
Nobody
Why
told
does
us
everybody
how.
spend all day long, every day, doing everything but making money? Why wouldn't the only thing you want to be doing all day long during your work day be making money? True?
True.
Why don't you have that mindset right now? Why aren't you thinking as soon as I leave here, I got to get back to my home or to my office because I got 6 calls the rest of today?
Because I'm insane.
Because you're insane? How many think that that's a great way to go?
Yes.
To me, it's a no-brainer, and yet nobody is programmed to think like this. What the expression is, revenue-generating activities. What's the expression?
Revenue generating activities.
Yeah. So you're either doing one of 2 things. You're talking to somebody who can say yes, and when they say yes, you're going to be making a profit, or you're going to be making a commission, or you're going to be. I mean, right now, if you wanted to, how many of you right now, within the next hour, could become an affiliate for somebody and start selling their stuff? And as soon as somebody buys their stuff, you're making a commission.
Oh, yeah.
How many different affiliate opportunities are out there right now?
A lot.
Yeah. Are they for small ticket items, or big ticket items, or all kinds of items?
Okay.
All kinds of items. So you think there are $25,000 programs out there, you can become an affiliate, and every time somebody buys, because you told them about it, you're making a 20% commission. What's 20% on 25,000? $5,000. How would you like to make a $5,000 commission? And you didn't even have to come up with the product. You just became an affiliate. What's the word?
Affiliate.
Yeah, and all you're doing is just saying, hey, you know what? I took this program, or I found about this program, and if you're a business person, this is going to give you 10 times the return on your money, money back guarantee. Here's a link, check it out. How many of you could do something like that? Yeah, they click on the link. They like what they see, and it says call this 800 number to get all the information. They call that 800 number. Now they're talking to the guy who created it or his sales team. They make the sale. Boom! You get a check for $5,000. When could you do that?
Now.
Yeah. How long do you think it would take to set it all up?
Not long.
An hour. Free. Do you think there are people out there looking for marketers who they say, hey, I'll give you a commission, you sell my stuff?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they built in marketing. Which would you rather? Pay $5,000 in advertising and hope like heck somebody buys? Or say to somebody, if you sell somebody something and I get a check for $25,000, I'll give you $5,000. Which would you rather do? Put out the $5,000, hope like heck you're going to get your money back?
No.
Or have the money come in first, and after the money comes in, then you pay your market. Which is a smarter business person? The first one or the second one?
The second one.
Yeah. Why can't you be that smart business person? You should be that smart business person. You will be that smart business person. So what I'm saying to you today, and I really, really, really hope you get it so that next week we can get into it, is that until you really appreciate what we've been talking about this morning about how our mind has currently been conditioned, how many weeds and poisonous plants are kind of like taking up all the space in our mind. There's no room for the fruit trees. And even if there are so many deadly plants, we eat the deadly plants along with our fruits, and we still contaminate ourselves. We still sabotage ourselves. How many believe people sabotage themselves?
Oh,
Every once in a while or all the time?
all the time.
And it's called insanity. Why would someone intentionally keep sabotaging themselves? And yet we do. Raise your hand if you've ever sabotaged yourself. Raise your hand if you think you probably sabotage yourself every day.
All the time.
With a negative thought,
Oh.
or a negative comment, or a disempowering thought. True or true?
True.
You know, if we could just learn the 4 agreements, Don Miguel Ruiz's 4 agreements, all of us would be infinitely better off. How many of you guys real quickly know the 4 agreements? What's the first one?
Don't take anything personally.
No, that's number 2.
Oh, always do your best.
No, that's number 4.
Be impeccable with your word.
Be impeccable with your word. What does the word impeccable mean?
Honest.
I'm sorry?
Honest.
No, you're close.
Flawless.
No. To be without sin. What's the word?
To be without sin.
Be impeccable with your word, and your word can be your thought or your verbal word, right? So, if you think a negative thought to yourself, according to Don Miguel Ruiz and Toltec religion, you are sinning against yourself. When you say, I'm too stupid, I'm not smart enough, I don't know how, it's too hard, any disempowering or negative thing you say to yourself, you are sinning against yourself. Or if you say, Sheila's an idiot, you are sinning. Not only are you sinning against Sheila, you're sinning against yourself. Because if I put negative out, what am I going to get back?
Negative.
Yeah. Why would I want to do that to myself? Do you think people put negative out and get negative back?
Yes.
All the time. Is that insanity? Do you
Yes.
think people want to get negative in their life?
No.
No, then why should they be putting negative out? Yet they do. They get negative back and they wonder why they're unhappy. Janice, go ahead.
Neutralizes. If we keep putting the negative out, it neutralizes the positive. So you have to stay in a positive mindset constantly.
Okay, so exactly. So again, what does impeccable mean, guys?
Without sin.
Without sin. If you could go through your entire day being impeccable with your thought, in other words, and what that means is that's not that you're not going to have negative or disempowering thoughts, because we're programmed to have negative and disempowering thoughts, but now we're aware. What's the word?
Aware.
So when that negative and disempowering thought comes up, instead of just buying it like we always have in the past, we're going to say, you know what? What was the 3rd step of change? Disassociation. I'm not going to think, what a stupid thought. Why do I keep thinking that darn thought? This thinking does not help me achieve anything positive in my life. From now on, anytime I think that thought, I'm going to say cancel, and I'm going to replace it with a much more empowering thought. Now,
throughout the day, how many times during the day do you think you might be able to catch yourself?
Lots.
Yeah, and you still won't catch yourself lots of times. But the more aware you are, the more you can catch yourself, and the more you can become impeccable with your word. What's the word?
Impeccable.
Now, the second thing is don't take anything personal. Because you know what? If I'm in a good mood today, I'm going to say good things to you. If I'm in a bad mood today, I'm going to say bad things to you. If I'm pissed off today, I might treat you in a real crummy mood or say you look stupid or whatever the case may be. Does it have, for 99.9% of the time, does it have to do with the person you're talking about, or does it have to do with the person who's doing the talking?
Person doing the talking.
Yeah. So you know what? I don't really give a rat's behind what anybody else says about me, good or bad, right or wrong. And again, when you take warrior training, it's true. Don't take anything personal. Because if you take things personally, you're at the mercy of the people that know that they can say things to switch your buttons. True or true? True. Yeah. And you want to be someone who's at the mercy of other people that know they can control your emotions? Yeah, and so you have to learn, and it's easier said than done, but don't take anything personal. Now the third thing is, who knows what the third agreement is?
Don't make assumptions.
Don't make assumptions. Right. How many of you, I mean it happens all the time, where you're talking with someone and they give you something and they say, that's not how I wanted it. Okay, well, if that's not how you wanted it, chances are you weren't clear in your communication of exactly what it is you did want. Right? How often have you heard a couple argue where the wife says, well, the husband said, well, I didn't know that's what you wanted. And she said, well, we've been married for 20 years. You should know. Like we're all mind readers. We should know, right? Yes. Don't assume anything. Be clear in your communication. I like to use the expression, break it down to the ridiculous. So Denise, here's what we're going to do. First you're going to do this, then you're going to do this, then you're going to do this. Do me a favor, Denise. Please repeat back to me what you just heard. Now I'm clear that Denise, because she might say something back to me, no, that's not what I said. Let's go through this again. So we're absolutely crystal clear on what we want done here. First we're going to do this, then we're going to do this, then we're going to do this. Denise, please repeat it back to me. And when she repeats it back to me correctly, I'll say, great. Now if you have any questions whatsoever, just call me. I don't want you to take the initiative right now and just assume that what you're going to do is the right thing. So if you're not sure, send me a quick text or something. I want to make sure that everything is done right. If you follow the steps exactly, there shouldn't be any questions, but if you're not sure, you'll call me. Do I have agreement? Okay. So to become great, for us to create freedom quickly, we have to become great delegators. What's the word?
Delegators.
And there's a difference between delegating and abdicating. A huge difference, and you may as well learn the difference right now. Abdicating is when you say to someone, hey Corey, I have this project, I need it done by next Friday, make sure it's done by Friday. I didn't give him much instruction, I didn't say I'd follow up with him, I just said, hey, I'm delegating this to you, you do it, make sure it gets back to me by next Friday. Next Friday comes along, Corey comes back to me and said, I say, what is the project? He said, I haven't started because I really wasn't sure about a bunch of things. Okay, well, why did you come and ask me? Well, you didn't tell me that if I had a problem, you'd come and ask me. Well, you know, could I have called Corey a couple days later and say, is everything going okay?
Yeah.
Should I have?
Yes.
No, I didn't. Is everything going according to plan? Any questions, any problems? 2-minute conversation. I would have found out a week in advance that Corey wasn't doing anything because he wasn't quite sure.
So both of you assume.
Both of us assume. Right. So Don Miguel Ruiz says, never assume anything. Be crystal clear in your communication, because if the person doesn't do what you wanted and you didn't tell them exactly what you wanted, the problem isn't the problem isn't him, the problem is you. You didn't effectively communicate. You just assumed. We had a situation where we ordered some cards and we just assumed that he'd have them shipped to our office. But we didn't say, make sure that the cards get shipped to our office. So he said, well, I got the cards here at my office when you want to come by and pick them up. And it's a schlep all the way across town and do that. He said, well, why would he do that? Wouldn't he just shouldn't we just assume he's going to ship the cards to us? No. If we weren't effective in our communication, who's the fault with? Him or us?
Him.
Okay, well, at first, we were saying him. And then I said, no.
Mine.
If we don't give him explicit instructions, then he's open to interpret it any way he wants to. True?
True.
Okay, you have to get a whole lot clearer in how you give instructions. And this isn't just for work. It's true with family, with kids, with spouses, with everybody.
True.
Okay, and then finally, the fourth of the 4 agreements is do your
Best.
Understanding that at any given point in your day, maybe you're a day person, you're a morning person, now it's late at night and your energy level's low. So you're not going to do your best in the evening as you would during the day, but you do your best that you can under every circumstance. True. If you had a bad night's sleep and you weren't feeling well, the next day you're probably not going to perform as well as if you had a great night's sleep and you feel like $1 million. True. But no matter how you feel, you always, what's the word?
Always.
Do your
Best.
Yeah. And if you incorporate those 4 simple agreements, and are they simple?
Yes.
Yeah, are they easy?
No.
No, don't we wish we could be impeccable with our word, never take anything personally, be perfect in our communication, and always do our best.
Right.
Wouldn't that be wonderful if that's how we all work?
Yes.
Okay, are we ever that?
No.
No, we never. But we can aspire to be that way. Right? We can progress. Progress is the most important thing, right? Progress is what it's all about. So again, if you can master those 4 agreements, and you really begin to understand, and what are the 4 steps to permanent change at the subconscious level? Number 1 is, what's the word?
Awareness.
What's the word, guys?
Awareness.
Come on, twice as loud.
Awareness.
Yeah. Number 2 is?
Understanding.
Understanding. Making sure you understand how in the world, how did this cockamamie programming get installed inside of you? Number 3 is?
Disassociation.
And number 4 is?
Reinforcement.
Reconditioning. And now these 17 wealth files in Har's book, they actually represent the reconditioning. So in the 17 wealth files in Har's book, each time we talk about a wealth file, we're saying, let's get rid of this kind of thinking. In other words, poor people mismanage their money, but rich and their successful people are excellent at what?
Management.
Managing their money. How many would agree that's true? So the key is a lot of people say, well, I don't have a lot of money. So what do I need to worry about it for? Right? I don't have a lot of money. What do I need to worry about it for? When I have a lot of money, then I'll worry about it, right? Okay. So the key thing we want to understand is the habit. What's the word?
The habit.
What's the word?
The habit.
Of managing your money is 1,000,000 times more important than the amount of money you're managing. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yes.
The habit. What's the word?
The habit.
Yeah, because we're talking about a spiritual law here. And I thought Denise did a fantastic job of sharing it when she talked about carbs and money management system. And we're talking about a spiritual law here, that the universe will not give you more than you can handle. How many would agree? And until you can show the universe that you can handle a small amount of money, you're never going to get what?
Lord.
Yeah. First you have to show you can handle what you got, and then it'll give you more. Does that make sense?
Yes.
It's like the example that is in the book and Denise talked about, the little girl with the ice cream cone. 3-year-old little girl, 1 scoop of ice cream in the cone, she's got a wobbly little hand because she's just a wobbly little girl, and then she's walking out, whoops, what falls on the floor?
Her ice cream.
So being the loving parent, you go back into the store, right, to get her another what?
Scoop.
Another scoop. But she sees the triple decker. She said, Daddy or Mommy, I want the triple decker. And do you get her the triple decker?
Hell no.
No, you don't get. Look, she couldn't handle 1 scoop. Why do you want to set her up for failure with 3 scoops? And here's what's going on. Most people are walking around with 1 scoop of ice cream, and it's melting all over their hand. It's dripping all the way down their street. It's dripping onto the floor. They're making a frickin' mess, and they're going to the universe, give me more! Give me more! And the universe is saying,
Hell
why?
no.
You can't even handle what you've got. And until you can show the universe you can handle what you've got, you won't get any
More.
Next week we're going to talk about that. So let's get this. Go ahead,
I
Denise.
just wanted to share on that. So one of my biggest reasons for sharing about the jars was to get myself to really focus on it. And I noticed that I went home
Absolutely.
Like, do the same.
And next week, we're gonna go through Power's money management system again, kind of like as you did. We're gonna reinforce it again, because how many of you guys want to become financially free?
Me?
So there are 3 things you must master: earning it, managing it, and growing it. How many would agree? And the skills to earn a lot of money are not the same skills it takes to manage a lot of money, and the skills to manage a lot of money are not the same skills as growing a lot of money. True or true?
True.
All of them are different skill sets, because you can be great at earning money, but lousy at managing it, so you have nothing to invest. Or you might be great at earning money, maybe even be great at managing it, but you suck at investing, and all the money you invest, you lose it. You guys know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Right? Or it could be any one of them. You have to be great at all 3. How many would agree?
Yes.
Okay. So what we want to do is let's do a declaration. Let's everybody please stand up, please, because we got to wrap it up. Come on, okay, let's try that again. That was pretty weak.
Ready?
Okay, so everybody please stand up. Okay, everybody please sit down. Okay, on the count of 3, hey David, we're gonna stand up on the count of 3. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, put your hand on your heart and repeat after me. I am an excellent money manager.
I am an excellent money manager.
Again, please.
I am an excellent money manager.
Okay, one more time, twice as loud.
I am an excellent money manager.
Okay, I want for you to turn to your neighbor, look him in the eye, give him a high five, and say, "You have a millionaire mind."
You have a millionaire mind.
Yes, you have a millionaire mind. You have a
Okay, have a seat, guys. All right, so thank everybody on Facebook for tuning in. We really, really appreciate you. Let's give it up for Robert also. And next time you got to be here in person. So thank you so much for showing up. Okay, Robert, you can go ahead and just push the button. Okay, yes, go ahead.